transitioning to Broadway, another love of yours. Not many people start their first role acting opposite the great Helen Mirren. I've seen many, and now going back about a year or 2 years, I've seen many productions of The Elephant Man over the years. This production that you appeared in, that you were nominated for a Tony, by far the best. And the New York Times, everybody were blown away by it. Tell me how you got involved in it. And it was so unique, this production. Why?
Well, I got involved in it not as a Broadway show. It was a little summer theater production up at Williamstown Theater Festival, and it was sent to me. It was going to be like a 3-week gig or something, and my agent just said, "Yeah, Bradley Cooper wants to do The Elephant Man," and they'd only recently done it with Billy Crudup not that long ago on Broadway before, and so I definitely didn't think they would take it to Broadway again. So there was no design on it beyond just having a kind of interesting experience. And I read the play, and I really responded to the role, and I wanted to work with. Well, I think that I had a conflict with. Now that reminds me, I had a conflict with it. I couldn't do it. I was doing this movie with Amy Adams called The Devil's Knot, which nobody saw, but it was. Thank God I did the play at the same time, because it looked like I couldn't do it because there was a conflict in the thing, and Bradley called me up, and I wrote to my agents. I said, I wanted to do the play, but I can't do it because I've got this. I'm doing this movie, The Devil's Knot, with Amy Adams, and I've already committed to it, and I've already grown a mustache for it. And then, I mean, there's no going back, And they said, so Bradley called me up and he said, "Bro, come on, man, come on, pal. Do you want to do the play or not?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to do the play, but I'm doing this movie. What am I supposed to do?" The producers told me they can't work it out. There's no way they can work it out. There's this one scene apparently where, I could fly back and forth a bit for rehearsals and everything, but there's this one scene they can't get me out of. And he said, "All right, hang on a minute. Who's producing this movie?" And I said, "So and so," and he said, "Hang on a second." So I hang up, and so I had been sent the script of the Devil's Knot or whatever, and I'd read it, and I knew which scene it was that they couldn't get me out of, and then I didn't hear back from Bradley, but I heard from my agents, it's all sorted. You can do both, and I was like, really, And so I got a new script of the thing. I'm flipping through the thing, and I get to the scene in question, and I'm not in it anymore. And I'm I think there's even a line, and it was some scene in this courthouse with me and Reese, and instead of going into the courthouse, there's now a 2-line scene outside the courthouse, which we could shoot on another day, where I say, "Honey, I'll be right back." And so, that enabled me to fly back and forth up to Williamstown enough times to do 4 days of rehearsal and then go back and shoot for 2 days and then fly back and he just cut me out of the damn movie. And
but what was so different about this Elephant Man? Because I've seen many productions. This one was so unique.
Well, the whole model behind it was, I think the production that had come before it on Broadway was a beautiful production. I didn't see it, but by all accounts, it was a beautiful production. It was very elegant and grand. And this production, Bradley wanted to do a chamber piece, and to bring it down into just a kind of very intimate, small setting where we were just playing out these very sort of intimate conversations, and that it wouldn't be, and the whole thing was going to be set on a very small little platform. There would be no real set to speak of except a bathtub and a chair, and so the whole thing would be about the performances of the three of us, and then also we decided collectively to cut huge swaths of this play. The play is, in fact, kind of a Brechtian play, where people speak directly to the audience a lot. And there were sort of experiments, like 1970s experiments in the play, like halfway through the play, the Elephant Man the doctor who I played has a dream, and the Elephant Man becomes the doctor, and the doctor becomes the Elephant Man, and we talk to the audience, and he kind of critiques the doctor the way that the doctor critiques the Elephant Man in the early parts of the play, and these were all interesting theatrical devices, but Bradley and the rest of us felt like for this production, we're just going to bring it, like, strip it down to just a series of little scenes between real people, and it would be very kind of real, like almost sort of kitchen sinky, instead of, and we would just take away all of the kind of experimental theater side of it. And I think Bradley felt like there's no way that I can be like going like this, the whole time, and then suddenly kind of just stop and start talking to people like myself, and then come back into it and have the illusion not be shattered for the audience. And so that was a big, part of it.
Was Patricia Clarkson in the Williamstown production too, or no?
She was, and she was my roommate up at Williamstown. I was staying, that when I first got up there, like I was like the lowest status cast member of the lead actors, and they put me in the most like shocking dorm room where there was like I was like the elephant. It was like the room that the Elephant Man
lived
had
in. From the movie. That's very funny.
There was like I think I was below ground level. And there was like a little window up above that I occasionally could like lean up and sort of peer over, like to get some air, And the first day, like on the set, I said, Patty, come on, man, like what the fuck is going on here? I'm like in the basement, this is no good. I'm gonna kill myself in there. And she said, no, you're living with me here. And so I moved in. We moved into this apartment together in town. That was like great. It was beautiful and big, and we had a big screen TV, and she was like a domestic goddess. Like she would do my laundry and stuff. I'd come back from I didn't ask her, believe me. Like I'd be embarrassed for her to do that, but I came back and like my underwear would be like washed and folded on my bed. She was like. No, but we had a great time. We both love bourbon, and she's from New Orleans. She likes a little bourbon, and so we would, we'd sit up and drink bourbon and watch Dancing with the Stars or whatever.